We'll go on to the awards themselves. Our first category is training and development. The judges have honoured teams that are supporting the post-qualifying agenda and developing a strong evidence base to their work. Now, we've recognised 5 teams in this category, and here are some comments first from one of the judges, Annie Stevenson.
We live in challenging times for care. Never has there been more importance to raise the status of social care. I'm delighted to be able to judge. I feel very, very honoured to be able to look at the overwhelming richness of the entries that I felt were coming across at me. I learned an awful lot. I feel very honoured. We live in a very unforgiving society, and we need to highlight the innovation, the sheer tenacity, the adaptability, I think, that people were showing in these entries to a moving agenda that never stops changing at the moment. We have big, big things we have to think about in our society with older people, the ageing population, and I feel very, very reassured that there are people out there that are really getting it and cutting through the myriad of challenges that they have to do that. Overall, I think the highlights for me were the entries that were cutting across all different parts of our communities, really using their imaginations to focus on what's really important for the person that lives in that community and managing to really go round and in different ways, new ways, and showing that ability to really think differently. That's what really hit me most.
Now, our first team is Riverside Employment Training Service, which supports people with learning disabilities based in Stoke into employment. Despite the decline of traditional local industries through some excellent partnerships, the service has offered a broad range of training and even runs its own cafe. The judge commented, the passion of the people behind the project was obvious, and the results speak for themselves, with 40 people moving on to meaningful employment. They've laid down very strong foundations that will help many people with learning disabilities in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Meeson to the stage to collect the Certificates of Excellence. Our next team is Barnardo's Hamara Family Project, which works with children with autistic spectrum disorder and their families. Now, Hamara staff were sent on training to the National Autistic Society and have now worked with more than 100 parents plus teachers to help them understand and meet the needs of children with ASD in their early years. Our judge was very impressed, saying, if I were the parent of an autistic child, this is exactly the kind of scheme I hope would be available to me. So here to collect the certificate, please welcome Ruth Watson. Now, next up, we're recognising the work of Cumbria Council's Needs-Led Outcomes Focus project. This ambitious project involved more than 40 team managers and practitioners from a range of children's service providers to support them in delivering a common needs-led approach and making the cultural changes required by the Every Child Matters agenda. The judge commented, an impressive entry showing a comprehensive and thorough approach to learning and development, going the extra mile in demonstrating excellence. And to collect the certificate, Carol Holt. Now, Sahil in Coventry was set up to address the needs of Asian women experiencing stress, depression and mental health problems through a safe and confidential environment supported by trained volunteers. The project gives both service users and volunteers greater self-confidence, and indeed over time service users have become trained volunteers themselves. And the judge said, a good example of a grassroots project using service user training as a means of empowering people with mental health problems from a BME community. Rani Sound is here to collect the certificate. Next, the Dementia Care Development Team at Four Seasons Pearl Project supported the training of care home staff in aspects of dementia care, fostering a person-centred approach, as well as sharing good practice and ideas between the care homes involved in the project. Our judge was very pleased to see a project successfully tackling these challenging areas. It demonstrates a big impact and is effective with clear outcomes, being encouraging and inspiring for others, they said. Please welcome to collect the certificate, Caroline Baker. Finally, in the training and development category is the Pathways into Care project run by the Tyne and Wear Care Alliance. This grouping of 5 local authorities and around 700 care sector employers gives unemployed people an insight into working in the care sector, provides them with pre-employment training, and then matches them with actual job vacancies. The judge said this unique strategic partnership is tackling workforce issues which are critical for the future of social care. Please welcome Moira Pinkney on stage.